Amiche e amici del football americano, benvenuti a questa intervista di Adult Magazine. Questa sera mentre registriamo, poi dopo, quando la vedete, abbiamo il piacere e l'onore di avere con noi Katie Sowers, che è il nuovo head coach della Nazionale Femminile di flag football, che ha l'obiettivo molto ambizioso di portare la nostra nazionale, di essere la guida della nostra nazionale per qualificarsi alle Olimpiadi di Los Angeles del 2028. Katie ha giocato a tackle football nella Women Football Alliance ed era nella squadra americana che ha vinto i campionati del mondo nel 2013. Ha allenato nella NFL come interim coach dei ricevitori nei Falcons per poi passare a 49ers come assistente in attacco nell'anno del Super Bowl 54. Adesso Katie è Director of Athletic Strategic Initiative dell'Università di Ottawa in Kansas, dove allena anche la squadra di flag football. Thanks, Katie, to be with us tonight and to have some of your time to do some chat about flag football and more.
Thank you guys for having me.
So we start. First question. Very easy. Why flag football will rule the world? The NFL has invested a lot of dollars to bring flag football almost all over the world. Troy Vincent, the NFL vice president, said that flag is the future of this sport. What is your opinion?
I absolutely agree that flag football is the future. I think flag football, I think it's important to note that it's not the female version of football. Obviously, there's men's teams, there's women's teams, but with the way that, we really search to find inclusion, especially for female athletes, I think flag football has really grown, and it's growing tremendously. And I've seen talks of even getting tackle out of the youth game. There's, a lot of different areas that are looking at that. And so with that, a lot of places are looking to find what's that safe avenue to continue to play football. And really an art is there's a special art within flag football as it differs from tackle football. And I see it, gaining not only in the women's game, but in the men's game as well, and really growing as we strive to get to 2028 in LA.
Okay, what do you think about the level of play of flag football teams other than Team USA? Did you have the chance to see them play at the World Games in Birmingham in 2022?
I didn't play. My twin sister was an assistant coach with the USA women's national team. So obviously I've seen a lot of flag football in terms of what, other countries are doing. And I see every country growing. I've seen, I have a player on my college team that I currently coach that's on the Panama national team. And I've seen the growth just in her team alone. We have a player from Spain, seeing the growth in Spain. So not only in the United States is really flag growing, just the talent in general, but here, now I'm seeing firsthand the growth that's going to happen in Italy and the talent that is there, and the sky is the limit. Honestly, I think it doesn't matter what country you're from, whether it's Panama, Spain, Italy, United States. All of these teams have amazing, amazing talent, and they're just going to continue to push the game forward.
Hi, Katie. I have a question about what kind of, because, in the US, many kids are playing soccer instead of tackle football. So my question is, which kind of arguments you would use with the parents of a kid to convince him to play flag football?
One of the biggest things that I've been really pushing recently within the last few years is getting flag football at the college level, regardless of where you're at, because my experience in the United States is we do see a lot of the elite athletes going to play other sports, soccer, basketball, whatever it might be, because for so long, that's where those scholarships to go to college really lie. And until we can really prove to these parents that not only is this a safer game and a special game in itself, but it also has avenues to create opportunities to get education from a sport like the game of football, which in my opinion is the best sport out there. And so that's one of the biggest push that when I talk to parents about, the opportunities that await, it's not just the Olympics, it's education, it's family, building a bond that is special and unique.
Katie, we are very thrilled to the news that flag football will be at the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. It's a huge news for our sports, and maybe will be something that will made more young people play football in the next year. But there is always a but. Do you think that flag football Olympic Games has some chance for the future, or will be a one and done? So flag football in the Olympic Games, thanks to the NFL, thanks that Olympic Games are hosted by Los Angeles, or do you think that this kind of sport has a future in Olympic Games world?
I think that flag football is going to be one of the most popular sports, whether it be the fan base that comes to watch, whether it be the level of competition that these anyone who has the pleasure of going to watch these Olympic Games are going to see just how fun this game is to watch. I have no doubt in my mind that, as long as all goes as planned, I have no doubt this is going to be one of the top sporting events in the Olympics for years and years to come.
Okay, now a question about the Italian side. It's really three questions, but the first one is, what will be your involvement in recruiting playing with Italian female flag national team? Are you planning?
You want me to answer that first, or all three?
I don't know. I can make you all three, and you can choose because they are connected. So the second one is, if are you planning some sort of combines, something like that, kind of, to select the players? And the last one is, will you attend games, or will you rely on game films or news or information from the other scouts?
Yeah. So currently, obviously, since I'm not in Italy right now, a lot of what I've been doing is watching a lot of film of players who have formerly played on the national team, been in talks with, a lot of the former coaches, people who are really going to build this team with me. When I get to Italy, we are going to have 2 camps where I'm going to have a chance to see firsthand the talent of these players and kind of where they're at, but also their desire to be on this team and be a part of, something bigger than them. And so it's going to be a little bit of everything. That last question of, will it be in person? Will it be film? I've asked even from club teams that we get as much video from, maybe even people that have never even had their name out there. Because I think the most important thing to grow this game is not just to continue to grow those people who are already on the map, but we want to grow the game from, the corners of the world where people have never even heard of this opportunity, because that's where you really start to find the talent, the pool of players that they didn't know this opportunity existed. And once you provide those opportunities, it opens so many doors, so many different talent levels can show their true colors. And that's my real goal, is to get a firsthand look at, not only the players of the names that I've seen, but who's out there that I haven't seen. That's what I'm really interested in.
Okay, nice. Now a question that it's kind of out of flag or tackle. It's just more personal experience, because I guess that at the beginning of your adventure was tough for you to be, let's say, accepted as a coach. How much has this situation changed since then? I mean, are the players caring less about your gender than in the past, or not?
I think gender is always going to play a role, and here's why. One of my missions in life is to open up this dialogue about the lack of women in coaching, the lack of women leading these teams, especially these women's teams. You look at the men's game, and you could almost say across the board, 100% of those leaders of those teams are men. And I'm not saying that a woman should never coach a man, because I've coached men and I see how great that can be. But I'm saying that, if we're seeing 100% of men coaching men's teams, we sure should see 100% of women coaching women's teams and leading, because it not only shows that women can lead, but it tells our youth, boys and girls, that when they look at that role, that could be them. So, it's sad when I look around at all these other national teams, and not saying anything against these male head coaches, but I wish there were more women. I wish the teams, took what Italy did, showing that women can lead. And I wish a lot of those teams did the same thing.
Katie, one last question about flag football. Do you think that the fear of concussion, for instance, can switch the number of players from tackle football to flag football? Because we don't live in the United States, but we read a lot about it. And so we read that there is more fear about not only the injuries, but concussion and contact for young people.
I think that the fear of concussions, it might be what initially moves people to try flag football. I think what they'll find is that it's not just the option that's safer. It's actually a different, more unique option. It's an option that brings its own art to this game. So I don't think we should say that flag football is going to be successful because tackle is too dangerous. I think every sport has issues of concussions, of injuries. So for me, flag football, yes, it's definitely a safer game. And that's going to drive a lot of people to actually at least try it. But I think the game in itself and the art of the game is actually going to interest a lot of these fans and players to continue to watch and play this game.
Okay, the two last question about your tackle football experience. How hard is to be a coach in the National Football League?
I would say, growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a coach. If you would have asked me when I was little if I believed that one day I would coach in the NFL, I would have said there's absolutely no chance. And to then go from, where is my life going? What is it that I'm going to coach? I thought it maybe would be basketball, but then after playing tackle football, I ended up dislocating my hip actually playing tackle football, and it ended up kind of being a blessing in disguise. It kind of pushed me a little bit quicker to the coaching side of things. And with all the opportunities that opened up and ended up coaching in the NFL, I think I had a chance to get a better grasp of what I felt about the inequalities in the world, and some of those things that you think, man, I really wish I had a more fair shot. I really wish I had a better shot at getting promoted. But the reality of this world is that there are a lot of obstacles that are going to stop people from reaching for their dreams. And so having a chance leaving the NFL and knowing I want to use my platform to grow the game for women. And so as much as I loved my experience in the NFL and I loved the people that I met, I really truly feel like it was a vehicle that helps me to hopefully reach back and grow the game in a different way.
Okay, my question now is that, I'm following football since 1982. Giovanni has been a player, has been a coach, has been an official. It's one of the most important people in Italy for football. So we have a lot of history and knowledge in the past. So my question is, in your style of coaching, which are the coaches in the past or present that you take inspiration from both, let's say, technical, tactical point of view, but also psychological, and how they are able to handle big stars or players, difficult players. I mean, which are the one that you are looking for?
You know, my gut instinct wants to go with telling you about a woman coach. And that, you know, that would be what I would want to go for. There's Dawn Staley that's, you know, coaching basketball, but I really want to bring a football coach. And the name that comes to my mind is Bill Walsh. And a lot of that is because of my ties to the 49ers, and the Bill Walsh Diversity Fellowship is what provided me an opportunity to start coaching. And within that fellowship, there's this idea that regardless of where you come from, regardless of your background, regardless of who you are, you deserve a chance to show your talent, to show what you can do. And that whole mindset had really kind of catapulted me into where I am today. And I have a lot of the Bill Walsh books behind me. I have, you know, it's something that I've always admired, and I always wished I could have met Bill Walsh. But that legacy, the idea, not necessarily the X's and O's, but how you manage people, how you motivate people, how you bring differences, how you respect differences, and actually bring those together to create a team has been beautiful. And, you know, I hope that I can at least be half of what he was and continue on his legacy.
Thank you, Katie, because I'm also a huge San Francisco 49er fan. So
one of the faithful. I love it.
Yeah. So thank you, Katie Sowers, to spend some time with us to answer our questions. We better luck for your experience in Italy. We hope to see you in Italian field in the next months. And so thank you from Adult Magazine for this interview.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katie. Bye.
We'll see you guys.